Yo guys, and welcome back to another video. As you guys know, the season has ended, and what a season this has been. It had everything you can imagine. Man City, finally we saw them drop off, and more than happy we saw United drop off even harder. But they always do bad. This is not a new thing to see for them, but seeing City drop off like that is insane because according to the stats, they this is the first time since 2016/17 they have not won a season where they haven't won a trophy. Every year they haven't won a trophy, but this year was the year where they did not win a trophy, and it made us feel is City relied on Rodri because it felt like Rodri got injured and then they just went through this downfall, and that means are they too reliant on one player? If that player gets injured, they're done. But I think they'll come back. I think they're gonna get someone else. They have the insane money, insane tactics. They will come back next year. But next year I think is gonna be way packed. But this year was the best, I think, Premier League in a while. And the reason behind that is was so tight. The top four went down to the wire. Obviously, apart from the relegation, we knew that Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton gone down. The top three teams that came up, they went down, which was a bit of a thing. And obviously, Liverpool won till February, which was a bit actually till December. But still, the other places, it was madness. It was just Liverpool from the start was just so relentless, and they were just smashing it, and that's why you can see they dropped off a little bit in the end. But I think it was just more to do with that they just smashed it through the few months. So yeah, and obviously this year Newcastle won the Carabao Cup, the first trophy in a long time. I don't know how many years, 60, 70 years. They beat Liverpool, which is insane. And that game, I remember, it happened back in February, but I was rooting for Newcastle and it felt so good. Newcastle won their major trophy. Obviously, they got top five as well, so they're in the Champions League. I do feel sorry for Aston Villa fans because I think it is sad. It was a controversial red card as well, which gone, and this was the game United United decided to turn up as well. Like the whole season, they're like, hmm, ah, Villa, we're not gonna let you go. That's the time they're like, come on, let's go. Okay, let's go again. The other time they just, oh, it's a game that our team, our fan base doesn't care about. Okay, let's just make the other fan base cry. I think United was just there to help Newcastle, nothing else, and that's what it looks like. And let's go. Chelsea has made it to the top four. I think we've had an insane season. We were going very well, then we had a drop off, which scared me a lot, and everything went down. The final one, and what a bottle from Nottingham Forest! I can't lie. They were in the top four. The position was so well skilled. I think maybe they will do it like Aston Villa did it, Newcastle did it, but it does show this team is still developing. Like they're not there yet that they can get the top four easily. But still, what a season for Nottingham Forest. Like, yes, they didn't get the top four, and you could say they potentially bottled it, but at the same time, seven is still amazing. Because last year, this was the team that was nearly going to get relegated. From nearly getting relegated to finishing top seven, and even the top seven, they had a chance. If they beat us, they would have gone through to the top four. It was like down to the wire. But obviously, we won. We played the better game. We got the goal. My boy Colwell got the goal. But now for next year for Chelsea, personally, we need to get a trophy so we can, sustain. Obviously, we're playing the Conference League, but I don't care if we win it. I will be bare. I will be like happy. I won't be gassed, but I will be happy, and I will be excited for next year. Next year is now the year to dominate and try to win trophies. Now this year was the year to rebuild, come back. We've done that. Got the top four. Got the Champions League. Next year is to work on it, keep rebuilding, and maybe get a trophy. If we get a Carabao Cup, FA Cup, if we get a Champions League, more better. And if we win the Premier League, that will be just dream country. If we win the big two, but if we win Carabao Cup or FA Cup, are we still happy? So we keep on the rebuilding, and I think that's the same thing with other teams as well. Now, with the same thing with Arsenal. Like with Arsenal, it's like with them, they're like that student in it that every year finishes second. Like they always are like, oh, we're the best, we're this, we're that, we will smash it this year, and then they just come second. They're like the goody two shoe students, which try everything, but they just can't achieve it for some reason. And some other people come, or Man City are like were the toppers, but they failed. But Liverpool were like the backbenchers who just came up, and then like Arsenal are not the toppers, and they're not the backbenchers. They're just the middle guy. And the middle guy always just stays the middle guy. Like somebody else from the back comes in. And that's what Arsenal is. They're just in the middle. They're just there. They're just there. They cannot win. And I think it's in the DNA. They're just the bottle kings that cannot win. Unless let's see what happens next year. But I think next year will be the same story. They'll be like, we will win, and then they will come with nothing again. So that is Arsenal for you. Then we have United, which are just shit. They are absolutely rubbish. They can't do anything. Have just gone. Every year they say this is gonna be our year, and that year never comes. And that's the thing with them. So they finished 17th, and the biggest thing they've done this year is they have given Tottenham a flipping trophy. How do you lose against Tottenham? When we were in our worst year, we still beat a Tottenham. That is how bad Tottenham is. I remember in 2022 or 2023 when we finished 11th or something, and Tottenham I think still finished above us, but we still beat a Tottenham. We still beat a Tottenham twice in a row. We still beat a Tottenham. We still beat a Tottenham because Tottenham is bad. That shows how bad Man United is when you lose against Tottenham. And another worst thing that happened now is that they even finished above Tottenham as well. But that does not make anything, because why? Tottenham won the cup, they're in the Champions League, and you guys are just gonna cry and be like, next year will come. No, we just gave it to them. Shut up, your team's rubbish, you guys are gone. Let's see what happens next year. We'll see. And that all has happened, and we forgot the last one, the FA Cup. Crystal Palace have won their major trophy after 124 years as well. I told you this couldn't be a bad year for City fans, and it got worse. And I'm so happy. I wanted City to die to the ground. The only bad thing I think this year happened was Liverpool winning the league, because I hate Liverpool as well. But I'm happy they didn't win the Carabao Cup. That went to Newcastle. And I'm gassed for Crystal Palace fans as well that you guys have got your trophy. And yeah, and it's good. And the funny thing is, all of these teams have got a trophy before Arsenal, which is insane. Before, obviously, they've got the FA Cup, but and another biggest funny thing is that Tottenham has won a European trophy before Arsenal. Wow. Well, that's interesting. So that was the whole year, and now we have the big Champions League final coming this Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't remember. Well, the 31st, PSG versus Milan, and I can't wait for it. I personally are rooting for PSG because I want them to win their first trophy, which will be even more laughing. We can laugh even more at Arsenal fans that you guys have still not won a Champions League. And PSG has won it now as well. So it will be amazing if they win. But that was it for today's video. That was it for the recap of the season. See you in the next one.